Good morning, everybody. Man, I slept in this morning. Holy crap. Couldn't sleep last night. I was up at like freaking 3 in the morning for whatever reason. But it's all good. That's where the coffee comes in. My favorite. You guys, this is how I start my morning. Every morning. Best coffee in the world. Coffee is made. Let's go hit the deck. That would be a nice morning for a fire. Doesn't seem windy at all. Grab a chair. I wanted to take a second and address some comments and concerns I've been seeing in the past episodes before all this tiny house build stuff when I had a visitor come up. And first and foremost, it's helped me learn a ton about my channel, which is really rare. You don't always know why people watch you on YouTube, and now I know why. There is a parasocial relationship going on between me and you, the viewer, and I want to make sure to maintain that. I know that's really important to you guys, and you guys mean a lot to me because I couldn't live my lifestyle without you guys, and then you guys wouldn't see the adventures without me, and it's this thing we have going on, and I want to keep that. So I'm going to start addressing that in the videos and being just conscious no matter who I have on the show, friends, relationships, whatever it is, that I'm still talking with you guys like you're right here. So, because you are. Just want you guys to know that. So that's one thing to address. And also, my visitor in the last few videos, I don't know if you guys know my situation, but I was in a relationship for a pretty long time, about 7 years, and she wasn't a huge fan of being on camera, and I totally respected that all those years the best I could. I know you guys wanted to see that, and you kept asking for what's your relationship status and all this stuff, and you really want to know in my personal life like that. And I chose to try to keep that separate and private. And now I've started to bring that into film, and then I've just been bashed super hard for it. So I'd appreciate comments if, I don't know, you might not like what you're seeing, but please be respectful. Just know that everyone on my show is a human, real human, and has feelings. Don't say something in the comments that you wouldn't say to someone's face, you know? That's just something I want to address here too. So please be kind, and you will get an introduction. I'll put it that way, but I want to do it in person when she comes up. So here you go. Crazy how warm this pit is. These steel logs, super thick. This is still putting out like a ton of heat. You can see them like glowing red down there. I think we're gonna go downstairs and start getting after it. We'll get a tiny home on skis to build. Here we go. So we're gonna finish this top plate. We're gonna add a top plate right there, and then we're gonna build the back wall, and then we're gonna start on the upper wall. So that is our plan for today. Let's see how far we get. All right, first cut of the day. It's chilly out there. All right, ear protection, trying to be smart. Get this top plate on, and then I got to figure out the back wall. If you guys are just tuning into this, I don't have an exact plan with this camper. I'm kind of building it as I go. I know the overall product I'm going for in the end, and I know that it's going to be a split level camper where the roof raises up 3 feet and lowers 3 feet. I know that. Other than that, we're kind of going for it. So let's see something this far in first. It's going to start getting interesting. These walls are starting to pop up now, so I feel like I'm building like a baby crib or something on skis. Alright, now you can lock it in. This one's really ghetto. It's okay though, this is getting covered. There's not gonna be like weight on top of these walls or anything. So what do we need to do? We need to lay out the rear wall. This will be where you walk in. Chevy Chase scene. In my truck house, the door is narrow. It's, I believe, 18 inches wide. Should we go see? We should confirm that. Which means you guys are gonna get to see the truck house door. Let's go. Okay. So this is what we're doing. Kind of another, not a rendition on this, but some things would be similar. All right, I think, yep, it's exactly 18. How big is the opening? Yep, 18, a little bit more. 18 and a half is the opening. So our door on that truck house is 18 and a half inches wide. This needs to be that big because that door, you already have to like kind of shimmy through it shoulder first. So we have how much room to work with? We have 44 and 3/4 plus, basically. Let's do some math. It's 45 wide minus, let's just say a 19-inch door is 26. So that leaves me 26 inches on both sides of the door. 26 divided by 2 is 13. 13 inches off of this wall. That is where the door will start. And come 13 inches off this wall. That is where the door will start. If I did my math right, there should be about 18 inches in between those two marks. Right? Yes, 18 and a half, perfect. Hey, I know what I'm doing. So the door's gonna be right here. The wood stove is 12 inches wide. Barely fits in there. Because when you walk in, you're gonna hit the wood stove. So I think I need to shift my door over this way a little bit to give the wood stove room to breathe. Because yeah, the 12 inches is gonna be really tight. You know, why don't we just get the wood stove out and put it down in here and just see. There we go. This is, look how cute it is. This is the Cubic Mini stove. It's the Cub, it's the little guy. Super tiny. I mean, by tiny, I'm talking like, it is about 10 inches wide and about 10 inches tall. That is so cool. Cannot wait. I've got a wall mount kit for it. It's just gonna step off the floor. I'm gonna have it against this back wall, back corner maybe in a corner like that. It'd be awesome to catty corner it. Oh, you can see it when you're on the couch. I guess you're gonna be sitting over there, so I could just put it against the back wall, and then it's kind of tight. How's that? Let's see. Sitting on the couch back here, and the wood stove's gonna be up in the wall up there, so kind of a view of it. I need room to walk in beside that. It'd be really cool to angle it. It just takes up a lot more room. But wait, I can't do that with a wall mount anyway. It has to be on the wall. So I'm gonna be sitting like that. I think it needs 3 inches, so I'm gonna keep it off the wall a good bit to be safe, which would put it right there, basically. What does that give us? That gives us pretty much 30 inches to work with. Let's just say 30. So let's just start the door opening at like 27. If I started at 27, and 18 inches from 27, there's 18 and a half. And that gives us like a little 8-inch gear storage area over there for shoes or whatever when you walk in the door. Pretty narrow, pretty small. That's essentially your door right there. It's a little bit bigger, 18 and a half. Coming to like right there. I don't know, I think that'd work. Isn't this fun building this with me as I go? So that's the door. You're gonna walk in right there. Little storage area off to the right. Door will open out onto the porch. Walk in, close it, and you'll have kind of this whole wall for storage. So I think that's all right. I think that's gonna do. I think that'll work. Let's commit. This is the base of the wood stove. Okay. I'm gonna come 3 inches off that at least, maybe even 4. Let's come 4 inches off. Start the door. Maybe more. How about 5? Let's go 5 inches. 18 and a half off of 5. It's about right there. Door. Pretty crazy. We're gonna need a California King here, and then we'll need a California corner. California King. We need a California corner right here. Okay. These need to be 32 and a half inches tall, I believe. Yep. And then if I make those 4 studs 32 and a half tall, I come over with a top plate on half of each one, and that'll be the door opening. Right? Yeah, that's it. 32 and a half inches, 4 of them, go. This top plate right here is just very, very, very bowed, like extremely bowed. But since we're not doing this conventionally, I'm not worried about it too much. So bad. It's frustrating. I can make it work, but it's just not my most proud. would work. This about to look really solid anyway. My door's right here. That's where I marked my door to be. Ah! Look at this gun, dude. I'm shooting straight, I swear. I know how to use a nail gun. This is like, I might have to, it's frustrating. Like, I know how to use a nail gun. This whole freaking house. The settings are good. It's like right at 110 PSI, so shooting correctly. Might be crap wood. This is like all wood from Home Depot. It's like kind of heavy. Might be causing some of the issues. Like that. That didn't even shoot right. Come on. That's our stud mark right there. Pop and pray. Here we go. There we go. Gotcha. One more up in here. This is a California corner. At least this side of the door will be tough. I should put the handle on this side. Beautiful. That one worked out better. There we go. That's where you're gonna walk in. It's really coming together here. Now we're gonna measure our little baby top plates. Here's a stupid messed up top plate theory, but we're gonna go 18, 18 and 5/8 and 8 and a half basically. Okay. Also, before we cut those, make sure this is level. Remeasure that right there. Ooh, 18 and less than a quarter. 18 and 3/8. Let's do 18 and a quarter. 18 and a quarter and 8 and a quarter. Okay. 18 and a quarter, 8 and a quarter. Let's go. I've never made Dutch doors before. This is just all a learning process. Let's get this little guy first. Okay. Please be good. Yes. Right? Yes. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, that was evil. Oh well. Also evil. That's good. Nice. Basically just split the wood. This is like next level twisted. I can't even. I don't know if I can even untwist it. It's so bad. You guys want to see how twisted this board is? Like what I'm working with? Look at this. How twisted that sucker is. Insane. Okay. In hindsight, if I ever do this again, I'm just doing just like I did with the truck house. Getting a jig and pocket screwing every single shot I'd make into the boards. I almost don't want to film this. This is just so bad. Ugh. Really frustrating. I'm gonna get through it, I'm just frustrated. My next little thing I'm doing here is the Cubic Mini, where it mounts to the wall. The mounting plate for it is 7 inches spacing in between the bolts. It just so turns out right where I need to mount it in my wall, that's like a 9-inch gap, 8-inch gap. So I'm gonna put another board right there, right in the middle, and that should fix my problem. This will give me options where I can mount the Mini over on this side or somewhere in between. And also beefs this wall up a little bit more, since this is probably the weakest spot in the camper, not having a top plate across it with the Dutch wall, so we'll really beef it up. I'll do some blocking in between too. There we go. Yeah, that just made it a lot more solid. So now the stove can kind of mount up here on the wall, just like that. So we're good with that. Now we've come to a point where I need to open up these industrial drawer slides and see what they look like and think about how I'm going to mount them to the lower walls. That way the upper walls can move up and down on them. I got these off Vivor, like this Amazon kind of company, but they make a lot of heavy equipment and jacks and all kinds of weird stuff, winches and whatnot. I'm not sponsored by these guys, I had to buy all this stuff, but it's an investment. My YouTube channel, what I like to do, I like to put the majority of what I make back into my YouTube channel. So this build out here is not cheap that I'm doing. Like, I'm spending some cash to build this freaking thing. Probably gonna be in between $15,000 and $20,000 to build this tiny home on skis when I'm done. That's just what it's gonna cost. What are we looking at here? Wow, look at those ball bearings, holy crap. That is burly. You guys seeing that? So there's these like ball bearings and rollers. It's all greased. Wow. So if I did my calculations correctly, this should be 3 feet tall. Sweet. Literally perfect. I'm gonna attach this big part to the lower wall, and then I'm gonna attach the slider part here to the upper wall, and then these tracks, when I press this button, the linear actuator is gonna lift it up, and the roof will get hopefully taller than that. Oh yeah, right there. Roof will get that tall. So to get 3 feet taller, way up there. And then when you're ready to collapse it down, it just collapses down in a sliding track like that. And that's how it's gonna be. I've got 4 of these, so I'm gonna mount these probably in the outer corners. The catch is I can't mount these until I put sheathing on. So I need to go to town to get my plywood, the final plywood, the rough sawn plywood that's going to be the outside of my wall. That way it's all finished, and these tracks are gonna sit on that. Yeah, when the camper's lifted, you're gonna see this track, but whatever. I'm gonna need to like pop this out to attach it to the camper though. Maybe there's no way to. Oh, it's gonna be tricky. I can't frame it in the air. Yeah, I don't know, this is gonna be weird. I'm gonna have to stop and think about how I'm gonna do this. So as far as framing it and then lifting the whole thing up at once and screwing it into these tracks, it's gonna be really, really heavy, like impossible. I don't think I can do that by myself. I will figure it out, I know that. Good morning, guys. We're gonna get our day started. Yes, I have my Christmas tree up and it's way past Christmas. Who cares? I like it. Anyway, you can see the plywood I got on the little all track out there. We're gonna go pull that off. That's another project one I picked up for 400 bucks right there. I'm gonna take parts off that to fix mine up a little bit better. Anyhow, we got some stuff to do. Let's get outside and get to it. Okay. Oh boy. Just look at this freaking thing. The first thing we're doing is unloading the plywood off of the car. We have to sheathe this. I can't do anything else until I sheathe this with the plywood. And then I'm gonna mount those sliders that I showed you guys. And then I'm gonna cut 4 studs to fit onto those sliders. And then we're gonna frame the upper thing from that. It's gonna be weird. I've never done this before. Who cares? Let's do it, let's go. It snowed a little bit last night, like dusted pretty much. All right, you guys ready? Here comes the fun part. So we're gonna take our first measurements and get this side sheathed right here. Let's do that. Actually, let's do the very back. Once I sheathe these walls, I'm only gonna be able to get in the camper through the door. So everything's gonna get a little more difficult. Pretty much 48 inches, right? 47 and 7/8 to be exact. Is the bottom looking? We'll do 48. 41 tall, okay. 41 by 48 for the first sheet. We need a chalk line. Extremely buried. There go all the boards. Ow, okay. Also just came up with a brilliant storage location for all the boards. Literally under the sled. Oh yeah. Okay, chalk lines are not happening. I don't know where. I'm missing all my chalk lines. Luckily, I got the 6-foot level, so I still figure this out. So 48 across, 41 across this way. There we go. Let's rock this. And probably a 6 amp hour. Yeah, be wise. I'm using, spin around so you can see it. This is cool stuff. This is rough sawn plywood. So it's got a really cool look to it. It'll be the final outside. I'm gonna waterproof it, obviously. Probably do some battens. I don't know what I'm gonna do just yet. It's fairly light for what it is. Strong enough, and it's gonna be what holds all these studs together nice and strong. Helps lock everything together. Yay, sheathing by yourself. Can't wait to do this upper part by myself. Beauty. I like it. The first wall of the cabin has been sheeted. pretty rad. I'm right at 6 feet tall, so this is probably right at 5 feet tall, which means it'll be 6 feet tall total. When the upper wall slides down and the roof is still sticking up about a foot, this will sit about 6 feet tall. But then it's gonna go up to like pretty much 8 feet tall on top of these skis. Pretty cool though. And it's not even sheeted yet all the way around, but watch this. Like, look out, that is rock solid now. Not going anywhere. So we're gonna do that on this side and this side. And plywood sheathing like really locks everything in together, especially when you lock it into your floor joists down there and up and over your top plate. Really locks it in. It's nice and lined up. Okay. So nice and solid. I still gotta nail it in the stud. So you can see that gap right there, and you can see that I just wasn't thinking. Once again, doing this as I roll, I forgot to make sure the plywood breaks on a stud. So I'm just gonna trim this plywood back or just put another stud in. I think that'd be easier. Just put another one in, that'll beef it up. All right, cut the stud to fit in here. So we have a stud that our plywood breaks on. Why is it super short? That's the wrong stud. It scared me. I was like, I know I didn't cut it that short. There we go. Oh, so loud. Woo! So now, when you come out here, there's something, freaking nails shooting through again. Drives me crazy. There's something to nail the plywood to though, so we're good there. So now I'm gonna measure this plywood to the edge over here, cut that sheet, and this side will be done. Also, as I was telling you guys before, this whole thing is unconventional how I'm building this. And I forgot to mention that the reason I didn't lay Tyvek down is because I'm spray foaming this. If you're doing spray foam, you don't necessarily have to Tyvek stuff. I'm not gonna worry about that. It's gonna be spray foamed, and that is waterproof in and of itself. And also, the spray foam doesn't stick to Tyvek very well. It needs that wood so it can soak in and grab it and lock everything together. So that's the main reason you don't want to Tyvek with spray foam. We're done with this side. We need to sheathe this side and then sheathe this front, and then we're good to go. And then we're ready to start working on the upper part. Oh yeah, and I just realized before I sheathe this, I want to do something to really make it solid. So I've got these crown staples that I used when I built the truck house. Really solid. They're like 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches maybe, and they really hold stuff together. And this is my crown stapler. So I'm gonna crown staple this frame just for a little added protection purchase. That's when I make sure it's done right. So much as I trust these nails, it's like just an added level of protection to do this. So if you guys have seen my videos in the truck house over there, I wheel the crap out of that thing. It's some really crazy off-road trails in it for a camper, and it's held up great over the years. And a lot of that is due to not just the screws, pocket screws I sunk everywhere, but crown staples really hold it together, and then the spray foam really locks everything together. So we're doing that same thing to this. So let's get a couple staples in this puppy. You can see how this nail gun just like, it just sucked. It just shot off and shot stuff all over the place with the nails. But you come in with a crown staple, watch this. Just lock it down like that. Like that. Like that. It doesn't look like it helps a lot, but it does. Anyway, I'm gonna do this on the outside, so that's what we're gonna do, just help lock everything together. Anyway, you get the point. I'm gonna run around, crown her down. And the survey says that'll do. Perfect. There we go. It has been sheathed. Ooh. It'd be so funny if the snow machine, if this was too heavy to tow it. It'd be hilarious. But I know it will, because I was talking to the guys that design these trailers, and Adam was saying he's hauled like 2,000 pound loads pretty often. I'm sure you could haul even heavier. That sled's a beast. It's made for it. So, oh yeah, buddy, like a rock. You can literally like tilt the trailer back and forth already, and the walls aren't even all sheathed. This is a good sign. That wall has been sheathed. I'm gonna finish popping these in really good into the studs. Then we'll move on to the final wall over there, and then we're gonna deal with the back wall separately here. Night quarters. Night quarters. Here. Until I don't have a lot of room to work. It can bounce you in my shoulder. How does that work? Stay. Camera's sitting on my shoulder like a parrot. All right. Okay. I can't even balance. Oh. Yeah. All right. Let's finish popping that in. We'll cut that last piece and we'll do the back here. Surfaces. Beautiful. Or is it? Does it look tall? It's really tall. Not beautiful. Hold on. Tall. I cut it the right length. I probably cut it 43. No, 40 something. 41. So I actually cut it 43 inches instead of 41. So. There we go. Yeah, boy. Solid. I like it a lot. All right, kiddos. We just did it. Back wall is sheeted. Both sides are sheeted. She's solid. She's super solid. That sheeting made all the difference in the world. When I get that back sheeted, it's gonna be like a rock. Okay, our next step is to sheet this back wall, and then this lower section's done. And then we're gonna mount these tracks and move on to the next step, which is gonna be really complicated, difficult to build up by myself, but I'm gonna do it. I've got a piece that was already about 7.5 inches wide. I needed 9 inches, 9.5 total. So I'm just gonna put another little strip out here, and then it's gonna be covered up by corner trim anyway, so it's not gonna matter. I'm just gonna square this over the door over here. All right, covered that right up. Once again, there's gonna be some trim going over that, so it's not gonna matter. Oh, we'll get one more spot. Gonna get that down there. She is sheathed, lower half. Once again, I've got battens that are gonna be like this and corner trim that's gonna cover all the corners and all that, so you're not gonna see any of that. Be all trimmed out, looking good. She ready to rock, man. Anyway, should have more room this garage to work. Just enough room to build this thing. That's it though. Pretty rad, huh? You got the Dutch door right there, which I've never made one of those, but we're gonna see how it goes. Should go pretty well. So I think the next step is starting on the upper house frame, the roof, the upper wall and the roof essentially. And what I've got to do to even do that is mount these tracks first, these roller ball bearing tracks. So these are gonna extend up and allow the roof to lift up 3 feet into the air, kind of like that. So that's how tall the roof's gonna be, above my head. Pretty cool. And it's gonna collapse back down. So these are really tricky to mount. You can't take these apart. You have to line the holes up perfect, sink one screw, line a hole up perfect, sink one screw. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and mount these. Once those are mounted, I'm going to extend them all the way up like this and somehow just lock them into place with a clamp. And then we'll attach the stud that's gonna go to this bracket. I'll have to drill it into place on all 4 sides. And then we'll start framing it. We're gonna have to frame it kind of hanging in the air. It's gonna be weird. I've never done this before. This is a new concept. So let's just do it. Let's get into it. I guess first things first. I need to have some dinner first, and then I'll come back. Let it warm up in the garage a bit. Ooh, snap. Did I just break my tripod? Ah, son of a mother. Ah, broke it. Son of a monkey. Oh well. Well, you guys saw that. Ain't cheap doing this YouTube thing, I'm telling you. Beautiful evening out. Look at the mountains out there. You guys want to see the deck really quick? And get some dinner going. Actually got leftovers. Yeah. Forgot I went to the whatchamacallit? To the light. The Vietnamese place the other night. The leftovers. Let's go check this out up here though. Talk about a project. A tiny home and skis seems easy compared to building this thing. Pretty awesome view out there. Rooftop deck, fire pit and all. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some food going. Whee! Still gotta assemble that grill. It's funny too, this house, it looks really big. It's really not massive. If you come in this living room, I mean, the actual footprint of this house is 24 feet by 28 feet. So it's not that big. It's not as big as you think. It's 1,900 square feet total. There's only 2 bedrooms and a couple bathrooms. Well, number one, the house looks big because it's tall, because I'm in the flood zone, so I have to automatically build like 8 feet up in the air. And then I've got the rooftop decks. So anytime you do a flat roof home, it just looks bigger because instead of a gable roof, you lose half your house when you do a gable roof. I retain my entire house by not doing a gable roof, by doing a flat roof. Like if I did a gable roof, the roof would start like right here and it'd start going up. But I just gained all that, you know? Let's, what am I even doing? Food. All right. Really, really spicy curry. Bon appetit. Well, that was delicious. We're gonna head back down to the garage and we're gonna keep on working because we got it. I'm on a timeline. I want to finish this thing within 3 more weeks. And that's gonna come up really quick. I don't wanna say what I'm doing now is the fastest part because I'm not gonna get super crazy in the interior in this one. Hopefully I will be totally done by the end of this week. I've got 4 days to finish the gliding track system and finish the entire upper and the roof. That's what I'm shooting for. And then next week I'm gonna wire everything, spray foam insulate it, just start cranking on the interior like a madman. And then we're gonna do windows and trim, and then we're gonna make the doors the last week. So definitely a solid 2 weeks left, plus this week. We're gonna see what we can get done. We had one little issue, so I've got my first slider right there. And I opened up my second slider, and I noticed it had a locking mechanism on it. So on the end of it, really weird, I think they sent me the wrong one. So there's like a lock on there. When these extend all the way up, they lock. And then you have to grab that little yellow thing to unlock it and let it slide back down and compress like this. But this will be in between the lower and the upper wall, so there's no way to physically reach this bracket anymore, the top of it. I have to drill out this locking mechanism system. So I just took my drill and drilled that one out right there. Same thing as drilling out a rivet basically. And now we're gonna drill this mechanism out over here. That way it does not try to lock on me. It's like spinning around. That's difficult. Yeah, gotcha. Whew. Now that should be loose. Yes, it fell out. Perfect. So now there's no locking mechanism to catch it up. I think there might be one more down here. It's right there. A locking mechanism. We have to drill that out. Okay. There it is. Work it free. Sweet. There is our lock-free drawer slide right there. Now we're set to go. This is the part where things are about to get weird. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I just don't know. We're gonna find out. I know that. First thing we're gonna do is just mark out where we're going to mount those tracks on the wall. I think I want to mount them on the sides back here. I'm trying to really just feel it out. Like what's more solid? The sides for sure. Okay. Yep. So the sides and the back is where we're gonna mount. Front is crazy strong. So I'm gonna mount them in the tracks, 2 tracks in the front and 2 tracks in the sides. That's our plan. Oh, that's huge. That's heavy. 4 of these will hold a 1,200 pound roof. I'm gonna assume if the roof is really heavy, it would be 400 pounds, but I think it's gonna be about 250 when I'm done, give or take a little bit. I have to go in the corner right here and the corner over there. That is going to affect my corner trim a little bit, but I can just do a little strip corner trim, it'd be fine. For mounting the tracks, I'll show you guys what I got. I bought structural screws. These aren't super cheap, they're really beefy, really burly. Usually screws aren't great at shear strength. If something's shearing, screws snap easier than nails do. But these are structural screws, so these are different. These are pretty strong, kind of like nails, and nice and thick, and they get a really good bite, and they're a countersink, so that means they're not gonna split the wood. I'm gonna go get my impact driver, and we're gonna sink these in. I was gonna turn the camera off and think about this, but once again, I'm gonna leave the camera rolling and think about this with you guys, because I haven't done this before. I'm sure some of you guys will be yelling at the screen, but you know what? You're not here, so I gotta figure it out. So I've got my mark 3.5 inches over. That is where the edge of the stud is. So that way this track will be sitting fully on the corner stud, which is the strongest stud in the camper. Height-wise, pretty much got it figured out. I'm gonna go as high as I can, about right there. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like all these different holes here. You can't separate these tracks. So the only way to do this is to line up a hole in this skinny one, a hole in this one, and then it has to line up with a hole in the bottom one also. And then I sink a screw through that. I don't even know how this is gonna work. I really don't know. I'm just gonna try it. Anyway, I'm trying to think, okay, so if the track is mounted, so let's say that's held in place, the upper wall, I'll have to hold this up, mount it to that. Now the wall's gonna collapse down. It's gonna come down, all the way down. It's gonna keep on coming and it's gonna stop right there. I have to keep it as high as I can because where this wall stops, the roof is going to start. So at the top of the outside wall, that's where the roof's gonna start. I can't have it down here or else the roof would like hit this top plate of the inside wall. So this has to be up there. So, okay, we figured that much out. So let's lock that in. Isn't this fun? You guys are right here with me. Just figuring it out. I can already tell that that is not going to fit through this hole. Sucker bug. Probably not even close. Nope. How do I access those holes? So I can only access the first, like, few holes. I can't access all these other holes that I need to access up here in the whole top half of the track. No way to access them. I have no idea how to access those. Okay, I was like thinking like, how am I going to do this? I don't know how to do this. And I just realized all I have to do is drill one of these holes out big enough that I can fit this screw head through it. See how it's gonna be too big? That needs to be able to go all the way through it. So I'm just gonna drill one of them out big, then I can adjust this little bar along like that and find the holes in the big one, drill through. That's what I'm gonna do. That's how big a hole I'm gonna drill it into this thing to fit the head of this screw. Here goes nothing. Giant hole. Let's go. I don't want to crank it to drill. It's my wrist right now. I gotta be careful. Just get my leg behind it so it doesn't crank. Like that. Okay, let's see if that hole is big enough to fit the screw head. Come on, baby. Not quite. Try to bore it out a little, I guess. Oh no, it's sketchy. That's exactly what I'm gonna do on my wrist. I've got a torn ligament in my hand from like 3 months ago. An X-rayed and CAT scan, but so I did not want to put it in drill mode. This is a torquey little joker. Hopefully that fits now. I gotta do this to all of them. Come on. Yes. Yes. That kind of hurt, not gonna lie. Well, now I can access those upper bolts, right? Woohoo! Yes! Yeah! There she is, boy! Woo! Look at that. That's it. So cool. That's how tall the camper roof's gonna be. It's extended. I'm gonna press a button. It's gonna collapse down. Nice and slow because I've got linear actuators right there, which are like electric lifting jacks basically. Super cool. So let's finish, I guess, bolting this track to this wall. I'll try to do all those tonight. And then tomorrow I need to cut the studs, 4 studs, and bolt them to this. And then we should be ready to rock. Here goes nothing. You know, this track's heavy, man. I'd say it weighs probably 35, 40 pounds. It's not light. Now you guys can see what I was talking about. I had to drill that out, this hole out, so I could put the screw all the way through to the backside, which totally worked. Okay, that's it. I just screwed it to the wall completely. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm gonna do one more over there, 2 more in the back, and it looks insane, but that is what actually is going to lift the entire roof system up. It's all gonna be supported by that bracket right there. Pretty wild, but once again, these hold 300 pounds each, 1,200 pounds total, so it should be fine. Also, to help you guys visualize what's going on here, so I'm basically gonna be bolting the upper roof and the wall to this, and it's all gonna slide down and collapse over this and slide back up. So the reason I'm doing that is because I'm 2 months behind a snow machine. So right now it's like 4.5 feet tall or so. You know, it's not that tall, but if it were to just be, 6 or 7 feet tall, that'd be really top heavy. So if I can collapse the roof down, it's not gonna be that top heavy when it's off trail. So that's the whole idea behind this. What these linear actuators and the slides are gonna do is allow the roof to go from 3 feet tall down here to 6 feet tall. or maybe actually, yeah, a little taller than 6 feet. That's pretty sweet. So you can tell this is actually over my head. So basically the wall is gonna end at the top of this, and then the roof starts from there. So the roof, as you can tell, is gonna be even taller because it's gonna be a pitched roof. So it's gonna be like 6'5", 6'8" in the middle to walk around. So that's pretty awesome. You're really cozy in here. Anyway, that's the whole idea behind it. Woo! Okay, very cool. We get those two back ones. I think we discussed earlier that I feel like my outer walls are stronger than my back walls in this side of the camper because my top plate is cut here for a door, for a Dutch door. So that's not as strong as this wall. Therefore, I should mount these tracks to the side wall. Okay. So cool. One more to go. Okay. Double check. Did we just do it? I think we did. Oh, the tracks are in place. Smooth operation. We're in business. We're ready for the lifting top. That looks pretty solid, right? It looks really flimsy, but I feel like with these two and these two just mounted on different sides and fronts and stuff, and then with the frame locking it all together, I think it's gonna be pretty freaking solid. And you can already tell it's gonna be plenty tall enough too. Pretty sweet. Like that's over my head, so good sign. So that's a wrap for now. I will catch you guys in the morning. Whew, beat. I think it's time for some liquid IV or something. Oh yeah. See you guys in the morning. Good morning, world. Let the games begin. Did I put beans in there yet? Yes, I did. Okay. Anyway, right now I have to get ready for a YouTube video premiere on this channel, Truckhouse Life YouTube channel. Like pretty much right now, or it's about to. I think I got like 5 minutes or something. Look at that meniscus spore. That's pretty good. Check that out. It's a meniscus spore if I've ever seen one. No, it's not. It's already thinking. Anyway, yeah, getting ready to release it like right now on the YouTube channel. If you guys aren't familiar with how I do YouTube, always, and I mean always, premiere my videos. I premiere my videos, pretty much every video the last 5 years, usually on Thursday mornings. Sometimes on Monday morning also if I have 2 videos, but I'll premiere it and then there'll be this live chat box over here. You guys can get on there and I can answer your questions and chat and all that stuff. And when the premiere's over, we're going into town to the Different Strokes shop, and I'm gonna make one final attempt to figure out what is going on with my truck. If I can't figure it out, I hate to say it, but I might have to do an engine swap. I don't know what else to do. I cannot continue to have problems like I've had with it. And unfortunately, I've got a lot of money sunk into it, like a lot. Could have bought like 2 new engines by now and the repairs. So anyway, that's what our plan is. Coffee premiere and heading into town and see if we can fix the truck house, get her ready to rock. And then we're coming back and we got some building to do. We got a tiny home on skis to build. There she is. Oh boy. So last night, worked pretty late and I got all the tracks all set to where the top lifts up like that and goes back down. So now I'm ready to begin framing the upper walls that slide up and down and the roof. The first thing I'm going to do is, oh, it fell on my toe. At least I got these safety shoes on. Check those puppies out. They're steel toe boots because I have steel toes. Oh, that made no sense. I'm gonna be quiet now. So once again, if you're just tuning into this project, you can go back probably 1 video, maybe 2 videos, and see where I started the project. And I showed you some very loose plans. And by plans, I mean like floor plans. I'm trying to think things out the best I can. I'm gonna miss all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of ghetto stuff going on with construction that you guys are probably just bashed, but you know what? I don't really care. We're doing it anyway, and you're gonna see what it's capable of. Just like that truck house. I built it basically the same way. The only difference I did with the truck house is I did pocket screws instead of nails, so that part turned out prettier. Other than that, it's gonna be the same freaking thing here. And I have wheeled the crap out of that. If you guys look back at my YouTube videos, taking it off-road and done like, yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. And this is good. Do some crazy stuff too. I think it would be extremely heavy, impossible actually, to frame the entire wall all the way around, all 4 walls, and lift them up into the air and screw them into place. I think that's impossible because I'm a man alone. I think what I'm gonna have to do is stick frame this, which means I just build this one stick at a time. I don't put the frame together in the ground. I'm gonna stick build it, but I have to stick build it like in the air, like suspended. It's not gonna be sitting down in something to stick build it. The lower wall is 3 feet tall, and this is gonna be 3 feet tall. So I'm gonna cut a board, 2x4, about 3 feet, put it on there, screw it to that, and then that will be the upper wall corner. And then after that, I'll put a top plate on up there, run that all the way across. Then I'll do a bottom plate, and then I'll put studs in between those 2 plates all the way down. I'm literally thinking of this right now as I'm talking to you guys. And I'll do the same thing on this side. This side's weird. Oh no, wait a minute. No, we're good, we're good. Yeah, this side, I'll have a top plate and no bottom plate, which is gonna be all flobbly, but I can frame this out and the plywood sheeting should hold it solid on each side. So that's gonna work. Not stressful at all. Okay. Shall we? We need 4 studs that are 29 inches tall. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 29 inches tall, 4 studs. Let's go. Let's do this right now before I change my mind. You guys missed it. I was grabbing these 2 boards and one board kind of like fell and knocked like half my tools off the shelf up there. It's good stuff. Come on in, everybody. Let's do little spinnikins this way. How about that? As far away as I can get you guys. I guess I just structurally screw these studs to this. I'm doing this. I'm just gonna do this. Tilt you guys up so you can kind of see. How about that? Luckily, this will be easier than doing the bottom, I think. I don't know. Wait, I gotta do this from backside. Is that gonna work? Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna line this up. Top. Oh wait, what about the corners? Oh no, I didn't think about that. Oh, is this still gonna work? So I'm gonna shift this off center because there'll need to be a corner here. There needs to be a corner, so this has to be shifted over. It'll still work. Yeah, this is tricky. A lot of things going on here. We're gonna get it though. As far as that goes in, no way. Is it gonna hit? I feel like it's gonna hit. Now they're shifted over. Okay, good. Now there's gonna be a top plate in here, a corner here that goes up and down. So that's the corner. And then on this corner, there'll be another top plate and that'll go up and down. Oh, so many factors. I think that just pulled it off level. No, that's all right. Stop. This is so evil. I need 2 people for this. Nope. I need 2 people for this. It'd be a lot easier. That's the downside of doing things by yourself sometimes. It just takes so much longer. If I have a second set of hands right now. Okay, stay, for the love of God. Okay, that bit it that time. Let me make sure. So I'm trying to see. I'll just show you guys. It's easier to show you. Hey, I went all the way down. See this top screw right there? See how the head isn't sinking all the way in? It like tries to catch stuff when it goes down in there. Not a big deal for that top screw, but all these other screws, they can't be sticking out like that one is. So I need to pre-drill this metal out so that these screws sink all the way down in there maybe. See how if you look at the side of the 2x4, it's sticking out just past the wall. So that means the other 2x4 over here can sit out here and not touch the wall. In between the upper and lower wall, there's obviously gonna be a little air gap. I think I'm gonna take a garage door, rubber liner, screw it down right here so it pushes into that upper wall and it just flaps up and flaps down and that'll seal that air out, right? Makes sense to me. Anyway, I'm gonna continue with this. Yeah, can I screw up a little bit? Shoot. It's a brain tester for sure. Gotta redo it. And this piece is already split, so I might as well just cut it. Okay, learning as we go. Here we go. This will be interesting because I can see how bad this split this wood now too. So, ooh, yeah, not a big fan of that. So you can see, I wasn't supposed to split it, but it kind of split it. That's also because it's close to the edge. I got a solution. I realized that, hey, I need 2x6s. Not here, I can barely get away with 2x4s here. But as you guys saw, 2x4 is like in the edge of the track, not ideal. It splits the wood easy. If I had a 2x6, I could have it like the bolts in the center and it'd still stick up past the wall. So I don't have a 2x6. What I'm gonna do is go to my buddy's woodlot here in my hometown, and he's got one. He's got some spare lumber, just old used lumber I can borrow, but here's one 2x6, but you can see, I'm just gonna show you guys so you can picture what's going on here. There we go. So if I use a 2x4, it's not gonna work with a slider because the wall, this is so heavy. The wall is coming over here. It needs to be able to meet this and slide up like that. But since I have to mount the 2x4 over here, it can't meet it. See that? It's gonna rub. This needs to push this out so it can go like that. But if I put a 2x6 here, and the 2x6 almost need a 2x8. Yeah, that barely even works. I need a 2x8, I think. See, 2x6 though would work. I think I need a 2x8 because it's still on the edge of the track. One more 2x6 for the back, and then we're good. And then two 2x8s right there. We're gonna go to my buddy's woodlot and see if that stuff is out there. And before I do that, I'm gonna check what I have laying around here. I had wood like this, I just like burned a lot of it, fortunately, because I was done framing and it was all scraps. I just checked my stash here. I do not have a 2x8 or 2x6s, so we're gonna go to Sam's woodlot and see what we can find. Let's go get keys. Isn't this fun? You guys are just along for the whole freaking ride with me. Okay, car keys. What do you think? Old trusty Toyota startup? My literally $600 car. I'll tell you one thing, man. That car right there, best $600 I ever spent in my life. Had it for 6 years now. And she never gives me grief. Unless I leave her parked a long time. Look at that.